Welcome back to the Goonerverse, everyone. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 3. I'm not going to go as far as say we have 1 foot in the final, but it was a good win. It was an important win. I think even a draw, so you can get the job done in the Emirates, would have been okay. But Arsenal played with real aggression, real intensity. And you know what? I think we left, my old phrase, I think we left some goals on the pitch. I think we played well enough to at least have maintained the 2 goal lead we had at some point. I think we played well enough for us to feel that, you know what, 3-1, 2-0 at some point would have been a fair reflection. Now, Chelsea probably were worth a goal, but if you want my full match reaction, I discussed that on Goonerverse News. Ultimately, we've got the win. And I think we need to praise a lot of the players, which we'll do in the tier list, which we always do. Because I actually think the 3-2 result screams Arsenal were a bit better than Chelsea. I actually think we were a lot better than them. But I think the, hopefully, player rankings we're going to do are going to just show that actually a lot of players were really on their game today and played a big part in what was a huge win. Do you know how many times we've been to Stamford Bridge? I was just watching Matisse crash out on the Big Six. You know how many times we've been to the bridge since 2018? I think that's 8 trips and we haven't lost. It's a phenomenal record. 8 trips, I think, 4 wins, 4 draws. You're doing something right, and Mikel Arteta certainly is. Big up to all of you who are joining here for the live player ratings. Obviously, I want your thoughts and your insight on all the players as we go through them. Won't waste much time. We'll do it right now. Let's go into it. We start with Kepa Arrizabalaga, who I'm going to say was not great tonight. Is that harsh? I don't think he was great. I don't think he dominated his area. I think a few times the ball came into the box and he didn't deal with it great. I didn't notice anything in terms of distribution that was sensational. Look, he wasn't bad. He was not bad. But I don't think he was maybe I could put him down as good. But the reason I've got that not great category is because that's kind of how I feel about his performance. He wasn't great. That's kind of it. Do any of you disagree while I read this super chat from Mike Watts? James, you need to give Saliba a mention on the pod. His season's going under the radar, honestly. So flawless on the ball. Generational player. Oh, he's going to get great ratings, Saliba. I thought he was sensational. Thank you for your super chat. So a few of you have Sally, for example. Anthony have Kepa down as good, but Yerzinho, A. Cunners, AMSN also agree not great. Quite a few of you basically agree that it wasn't anything special from him. And actually, I do think he was flapping at crosses and a little bullied at times. But that's fine. I don't regret him playing this game. And I think he should start the next one at the Emirates too. Turkish in the building apparently. James, Jordan doesn't know what he's on about. We're recording tonight at midnight. Sorry. The way this is how Turkish has had to get the message to me. Oh God, I thought the schedule that Turkish sent out had 12 as the recording time for loose cannons, and I asked, is it midnight tonight, as in an hour, or is it midday tomorrow? And Jordan replied, yeah, midday tomorrow. Turkish is now in my live chat going, no, it's in an hour, bro. There's me going, oh, I wonder what Turkish in the building. I wonder what he gave Kepa. Oh, I recorded tonight. Fair enough. All right. That was funny. Well, everyone, if you like loose cannons, you're getting it earlier than I thought you were. So there we go. Turkish or jokes. Fair play. Let's get back to this bloody player rating. Oh, that was so funny. I can't believe... the way he's gone, Jordan doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay. All right, fine. Loose cannons out tomorrow. God, let's get back into this. That was funny. It made me laugh. I'm sure if I look at my WhatsApps in a sec, there's just going to be a string of messages being like, James, it's tonight. Okay. Right back, Ben White. Look, I think we have to put him down as very good, don't we? Because he's got a goal and an assist. I mean, I think Sanchez basically deserves 2 assists for that. I thought he was a mess on both goals. But Ben White surely goes down as very good. Look, with that goal that Garnacho scores at the back post, in White's defence, he's gone to leap for the ball. Enzo's charged into him. I'm not calling foul. I'm just saying sometimes that can happen, right? I mean, Ben White's been thrown to the floor. Again, not a foul, nothing wrong with it, but it could just happen. It's a physical game. And Garnacho executes it quite well. I can't really say much about it. I think he was very good, and I don't really blame him too much. Ben White was very good, says Forquay. Very happy for him. Very good, by the way. Ben White going forward, just a lot better than Timber. I agree. Many of you agree. Look, a goal and assist. Fair play. What else? There's a funny comment about Jordan that I can't find him. Turkish trying to set Jordan up. There we go. Cool. Glad you all agree. Okay. We get to the centre-backs. William Saliba. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely sensational tonight, you know. And actually, let's take a bit more of the screen to really talk about William Saliba for a second here. The way he played today was like, I'm the best defender in the world and I'm going to show it. And it was amazing because I think it spurred on Gabriel, who I think stood up in a different way. But I think tonight, and you know what? Let's get Gabriel. I'm going to put him down as brilliant as well. But if you guys want to vote Gabriel down to very good, I'm okay with that. Because I did think Saliba was better. But these two centre-backs, I know we conceded two. But I just think these two are unbelievable. And they played today like we're the best centre-backs in the world and we're going to remind you of it. And Saliba and Gabriel also played in a way in which they both really honed in on their strengths. Saliba in possession was superb. If a 6 moves like that, if an 8 moves like that, if a 10 moves like that, you're praising them. His ball carrying goal in possession, sensational, but his defending so good as well. One hairy moment, I think in the first half when he miskicks it, no problem, pass it back to Kepa and we keep it moving. Gabriel was a one-man goalkeeper at times. I think there was a comment saying, anyone else think Gabriel was like a goalkeeper for us? He was. I mean, the amount of blocks, the amount of times he was putting his head in the way of shots, the way he was doing one-to-one defending at times with Esteval, the personality he showed, the presence to deal with things from set pieces. I thought Gabriel was absolutely sensational tonight as well. The two of them are so special. And you know, it's so funny because I will give Chelsea the due context of Reece James, Caicedo, Cole Palmer, who else? Okay, Gusto. But those three in particular are like their 3 best players. So I'm like, okay, that's a huge miss for them. And probably all 3 of them are playing in central midfield together. That's the crazy thing. So I appreciate they had their engine room and a lot of their quality stripped from them for this game. Fine. But we went into the game at the Bridge without Saliba and Gabriel, without Leandro Trossard, our former attacker this season, and without Gyokeres, at the time our starting 9. So my sympathy only goes so far. But it just shows how much better we are when those two come in. Funnily enough, we probably looked as shaky at times defensively, but we definitely looked we had more personality and impetus in possession on the ball, and we controlled things from a pressing standpoint, and we took the game to Chelsea a lot more because of those two at the back. Don't judge them on the goals we can see, because a lot of that will also be down to the team as a collective. But when we get control of a game of football like that away at Stamford Bridge and play with that kind of intensity, more often than not, it's because of these two right here. So they were brilliant. I put them down as brilliant. Let's see if any of you agree or disagree. Carnage says, defensively, a bit worrying. 2 goals conceded versus Bournemouth. Sunderland, now Chelsea. Need to sharpen up. Sure, but the goals are there. Saliba, composure personified. Sensational. Clapping all round. A lot of you agreeing. Gabriel, brilliant. A lot of you agree, although Tad's had Gabriel is very good. Gabriel, very good. Saliba, brilliant. Basically 9 and 10, so brilliant is good for the 2. Yeah, that's how I'd put it. Like a 10 and a 9. A 10 for Saliba and a 9 for Gabriel. Gabriel was better defending. Saliba was better in possession. Saliba was top class tonight. Yeah, I think a lot of you agree, which is good to see. Okay, cool. So let's now move on then to Timber at left back, who I thought was one of those where I'm going to let the comments decide. On the one hand, very good, because he actually does brilliantly to win the corner that we score from. I thought he looked better going forward because I think he was dribbling inside onto his right foot, which I think suits him a little bit better. Crossing on his left foot wasn't great, but it's not great on his right foot, so what do we expect there? And the Esteval battle, like Esteval caused him problems, but I don't think Esteval won that battle. I think that was just a good battle between the two. And I think Timber came up a very, very good winger and largely did quite well. But I can understand whether some of you might think, no, there are too many loose moments for it to be very good. Ben White ultimately got a goal and an assist. So a lot of you are going to say, just good? Cool. Okay. You've all voted for basically good. I was never going to go down to not great. I think that would have been very, very harsh. I think Timber did a lot of very good stuff. But I'm happy to go with good and say he wasn't quite in the Ben White category, especially with the impact Ben White had on goals and assists. Martin Zubimendi. Brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. And I tweeted this. Let me get the tweet in front of me. Because I think this captures really what I think of him. I said we should never have described Zubimendi as a younger Jorginho. That was 39 minutes into the game. I then followed that tweet up with prime Jorginho goal that, obviously sarcastically. Zubimendi off the ball in that first half was utterly sensational. If a Fabinho does that, if a Fernandinho does that, if a Declan Rice does that, basically a player who is known for getting about the pitch and for their defensive prowess, if someone like that does that, we are talking about it for weeks. That level of aggression, how often he was getting in front of his marker, counter-pressing, creating moments for us, openings for us. He was so good, so aggressive, so tenacious. He then, did what he does, which is get forward at times. He did it in the first half when actually we were trying to press and Trossard drops deep and Rice drops deep and Zubimendi runs beyond, ends up winning us a throw, I think. Or maybe, no, he wins us a corner, I think, because he basically forces his tackle onto the Chelsea defender, it goes out for a corner. Second half then, that bit of quality to then run across his body and then drag it further onto his left foot and then fire it into the back of the net, that's number 8 play. That's number 10 play. That is brilliant midfield match-winning quality. And the way Odegaard, Rice and Zubimendi have been rotating as a 3, I think they are a wonderful complement. I don't think Odegaard had a great game today. Spoiler, we'll get to that in a sec. But the way the 3 play together, there's an understanding there, and we've got to persist with that. There might be a temptation to bring Eze back, give one area the minutes or whatever. I think we've got to go with that 3 and let Odegaard play himself into more form and let them keep understanding each other. A lot of you agree that he was excellent, incredible. A lot of you saying brilliant left-footed goal, wasn't it? Zubi brilliant. Zubi, says Gooner. That needs to be a song. That needs to be a chant. That composure in the box was incredible. Would prefer Zubi further forward, to be honest. But you know what, Tads only, if you don't mind me saying, we've done an analysis of this on the Goonerverse before, and I think if it continues, we'll do more analysis on it. But Zubimendi gets forward. Like, it's not... There's this idea that Rice gets forward more than him. I think Rice presses further forward. Therefore, when we win back the ball, probably finds himself in higher areas. But in settled possession, Declan Rice and Zubimendi both get forward and both sit back. And they just work out between them in the game. The understanding between them and to have that so quickly is incredible. Speaking of Declan Rice, I thought he was very good today. I thought he was very good. Like, I don't think it was his best performance. I don't think he was as good as the three above, but I thought Declan Rice was very, very good. Did some great stuff off the ball, some good carrying. I love the way he was receiving off the back four, some really quick 1-2 passing. Obviously, I guess it's his ball that comes into the box for Ben White. I imagine he's the one who crossed it. I can't think it would have been anyone else. And we score, so that's an assist for him. So I've got Declan Rice in very good, unless any of you disagree. AFCG says Declan Rice was very good. Phil's Weenie says Rice was good. Rice very good. Okay, so 2 out of 3 of you agree with me at the moment. 7 out of 10 is the rating from Taye. I would give him I would give him an 8 out of 10 is how I would look at his performance, with the others at 9s and 10s. Cool. Rice was gliding past Chelsea players. Yeah, I think the game was made a lot easier for him without Reece James and Caicedo in there, essentially. I think it did make it an easier game. Rice was good, but that's it, says Juniori. Harsh for me. I think he was very good. Cool. All right. A lot of you agree. Some of you have said just good, but I'm happy to go very good. Okay. Odegaard. I think Odegaard was not great. Look, I could... Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as poor. I think some of you would. I wouldn't go as far as poor. I'd say not great. Don't think he did anything bad. Don't think he did anything good. Kept things moving. Was sort of... I didn't see him run the game at any point. I didn't see a particularly inventive through ball. I didn't see some real strength, some real power, some real glide. I didn't really see those kind of things. A lot of you are saying poor. You know, Ash saying poor, and I love Odegaard. Odegaard not great today, says Birmingham. A lot of you saying very poor, but I'm not going to go as far as poor, personally. That's my opinion. If all of you think he was poor, that's fine. I'm just not going to go that far with Martin Odegaard. But do you know what, though? This is true from AMSN. Gave the ball cheaply that led to the first goal. Yeah, he did. That was true. That was a poor moment from Odegaard. And I think Arteta taking him off did the right thing because he wasn't in it. I thought Mourinho looked a lot better when he came on. But yeah, I'm happy to just stick with not great because I think overall we had control of that game. His pressing, the work rate, forcing Chelsea into errors as well. A lot of that came from him off the ball. So what he lacked on the ball, I think off the ball, he gave us quite a bit in the press. So I'm going to go with that. Okay. Leandro Trossard. Not great as well, if I'm really honest. Beat his fullback once with a bit of luck. There was a poor effort when he should have squared it to, or should have rolled it to Timber. But I don't think he had the impact he'd have wanted. There was one time I think he could have played Saka in behind in the second half. He opted not to. Look, he's a big game player. I just don't think he had a big game performance, and that's fine. He's given us loads of those over the years. But yeah, I don't think he was poor, Trossard, unless any of you disagree. So I'm going to go with not great. AFC agrees. Trossard wasn't great. Leo, not great. Not great at all. Okay. I think most of us agree. Bukayo Saka. Involved in the third goal. Definitely involved in the second goal. Won loads of free kicks. Got a few players booked. Definitely got a few players booked. So strong, isn't he? I'm going to say good. No. Am I? Ooh. I've been really championing Saka. I'm going to let you all decide this with me. I'll happily bump him up to very good because I'm really torn on this. Jaden says, it was nice to see Kai and Jesus play together as another option. Yeah, it was. Saka, lots of good. Couple not great. Saka not good again. It's not his first time. Not great. Saka good. Just good. Do you know, it's so funny. I was closer to very good than I was not great. James, not gonna lie, Saka poor. He never crosses to Gyokeres, always cuts in. I get he always gets fouled, but come on. But people, I don't know, I can't keep coming here every single week and defending Bukayo Saka because I just think we've seen it for years. If at this rate we can't appreciate what he does well, then what's the point? You know, Kukurea was, flying into him at any given opportunity, was super aggressive on the guy. And Saka still comes out with a big moment for the second goal, a good moment for the third goal. Won loads of free kicks. The ball was going out to him way more than it was going out to the left. You know, he's at the heart of 2 goals again in a game which he wasn't great. You know, overall play, yeah, could have been a little bit better, but he's so strong. Like, he looks after the ball. He never loses it. I'm happy to just say he was good and nothing amazing, nothing special. But this idea that he was poor or not great, I really struggle with that, guys. I think he just has too big an impact on games for me to say that he wasn't. That's just me. Okay. Gyokeres. Very good. Now, I know some of you will say brilliant, but I'll come clean and say I think I'm closer to good than very good. Now, here's the thing with Gyokeres, right? I've defended him. I've defended him so much, and I've defended him more than most people have probably defended him. I think today was a great example of how, even if everything he did wasn't that polished and that classy or that clean, Arsenal really benefited from him. He was playing high up the pitch, allowing us to play balls over the top, play balls in behind, go from one end of the pitch to the other very, very quickly. He was forcing Chelsea defenders to put the ball out of play. He was forcing them to make quick decisions because he was pressing and working so unbelievably hard, and then would drop into the mid-block with the Arsenal players. His hold-up play was fine. There was some nice little touches and brought players into play. I don't think it was anything special, but it was good. He then gets the goal, which, let's be honest, Sanchez makes a real error, but fair play, he's there and he puts it in the back of the net. What I like about the assist is that actually he likes that little flick, doesn't he? He gets it and just wants to get rid of it with the outside of his boot quite quickly. But it's good awareness to know Zubimendi's there and get the right weight of pass so Zubimendi can go and do the rest. I thought Gyokeres was very good tonight because of the overall impact he had on the team, because of his work rate, and because he's registered a goal and assist. Now, I will say, the reason he's not in the brilliant categories, I still think there were some untidy moments. I actually really liked when he got a shot off away with his left foot in the first half that went wide. That was some decent play from him. So yeah, he certainly looked more comfortable with the team, and I think the team looked more comfortable with him. I'm just not prepared to say brilliant because there were parts of his game that I found a touch unpolished at times. Gyokeres was very good, says Juniori. Stepped it up in the second half, I agree. He was winning aerial duels against their centre-backs. True. I don't think Chelsea's centre-backs are very good, though, I have to be honest. I will say that. But yes, he did great. Gyokeres was very good. One more goal would have made it brilliant, sure. Good, and you can see his lack of confidence, but he keeps trying and he keeps going. Give him credit for that. I totally agree with Gooner 1970 on that. He was easily very good today. Showed today why he's our best striker at the club, says Ragnarok. Big call, that. Big game, good goal and assist, says Shax. Very good Gyokeres, says Dr. Gabe. Buzzing for Gyokeres, says Yazini. I think we all are. Very good. Very, very good. Finally, says Fizz Ceremon. Hope it's the start of something for him. Hope it's the start of something for him, for sure. Okay, so that's the first 11. Any you would change here? Any that you think aren't right now that we've seen all of them? I'm quite happy with them. I think Zubimendi, Gabriel and Saliba are real standouts today. White and Gyokeres are up there simply because of their output and general play as well. But I think the output's a big one. Rice, I might be prepared to drop down to good and put him level with Timber and Saka. I think that's probably fairer. And in fact, I am going to make that change. I think as much as I'm singing Declan Rice's praises, I don't think he gave more than Timber and Saka necessarily, and he wasn't nearer to Gyokeres and White. So I'm happy to move. Rice down. People, yes, Saka is staying in good. I'm not changing that. I know a lot of you don't think he was great. I think he had lots of really, really positive moments for us. Oh. Okay, so you can hear me, but my camera's gone out, hasn't it? Oh. Oh no, camera's gone out. Okay, all right, well, you can still hear me, right? So we'll carry on. Let me just plug this in to charge. This is hilarious. This never happened before. Okay. Figure this out, James, well, if you can. Can you all confirm that you can still hear me? Can you all confirm that you can still hear me on the live, yeah? Doing a Jordan. Yeah, fair play. Camera gone. But okay. But you can still hear me? Okay, fine. All right. We're going to give the camera a sec. That's frustrating. And hopefully, sorry if you can hear the chair as well. Okay, perfect. You can hear me. That's great. All right, love to see it. Fine. Hopefully this camera comes back. Oh, hey, we're back. Sorry for that temporary tech issue. Okay. All right. Cool. Camera saw Odegaard and switched off. Very funny. Okay, cool. Right. I'm happy with all those. So now we go into the subs. Who came on first? I think Marino and Martin were the first subs. Marino... very good, I thought. I thought played a big part in the goal. The third one. I mean, it's a quite simple pass to Gyokeres. I'll drop him down if you guys disagree. But I thought Marino was very good when he came on. Neat on the ball. Took a good yellow card. It was a foul on João Pedro. But, I mean, brought him down when the game opened up. Yeah, I'm glad you all agree. Martinelli, however, I'd have down as good. I thought it was a good cameo. I don't think it was a very good cameo, but I thought it was a good cameo. He did some nice things. But yeah, Mikel Merino's coming into his own, isn't he? Like, it's really good to see Merino starting to just show his quality on the ball. He's really feeling himself, which is really good to see. So yeah, great. Jesus and Havertz? I'll be so honest. They didn't look great. Like, let's really be honest here. Like, and this is why I can't put Saka in that category. Because how can you say that Jesus and Havertz, albeit with far less time on the pitch, how could we possibly say they did as much as Saka? Like, they didn't do as much in their 20 minutes as Saka did in his first 20 minutes. So, yeah, I think those are my player ratings, people. I don't think there's anything there that I really want to change. We'll do some comments now and get your thoughts. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So 5 players weren't great on the day. Kepa, Odegaard, Trossard, Jesus and Havertz, with Timber, Saka, Rice and Martinelli all good. I thought they all had a good game. White, Gyokeres, Merino, very good tonight. And yeah, all played big parts in goals with Saliba, Gabriel and Zubimendi. So funny. We can see 2 goals of the bridge and our 2 centre-backs and our number 6 have been credited with the brilliant ranking. Cool. A lot of you are saying they were terrible, Jesus and Havertz. They weren't great, were they? Saka gets the Turkish standard now as the club's highest earner. If we're being honest, this has been his lowest season in terms of form since 22-23. Maybe in terms of output, but I think he's quietly having a very good season, in my opinion. Please stop being biased for Saka, James. He's so poor. We are just... James, you're a bit of a Saka fanboy. I've been more critical of Saka probably in the last year than most Arsenal fans who do content would have been. I think he's just been a lot better than people are giving him credit for. And I think a lot of you watch Saka. I'm going to be so honest, right? And if you all disagree, then fine. But I think a lot of people who are saying he was poor are watching Saka through the eyes of, did you run at your fullback 3-4 times? Did you get a goal? Did you get an assist? Did you constantly, create chances and look a threat all game? In my opinion, if you're saying he was poor, if you're saying he wasn't great or he was okay, then that's fine. But to say he was poor, you're totally disregarding everything he has to come up against, which is being doubled up on in games. Every time he's, winning fouls, having big moments, key moments, like Wolves. I remember the Wolves game. And this is why I won't back down on my praise of Saka. I tweeted that Saka was on fire 20 minutes into the Wolves game. And I was getting, just hurled abuse is probably a bit dramatic, but I was getting so much pushback. What's he done? What's he doing in this game? He's been rubbish. He's been poor. What are you watching? People laughing at me. By the end of the game, he was man of the match and everyone was universally going, oh my God, Saka won us that game. He was amazing. Yeah, because people were just judging him on destroying the fullback or getting goals and assists, not recognizing that he's the one that all our football is channeling through. So often, I think a bit like Gyokeres actually at times, the camera's gone off again. We're going to round this up. I think too often at times, it's so difficult to make this point when the camera's off, isn't it? Anyway, too often at times, Bukayo Saka is looked at and judged differently when he's got more hurdles in front of him. I defend the guy massively because I think he's brilliant. Okay, we're going to round it off there because the camera's gone off twice. I will make sure to have that plugged in charge in future for longer, so sorry about that. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you. Those are the player ratings. I've got no camera on. And you've all been amazing in the comments. Big thanks. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And I'll sort this out for next time. Much love. Catch you in a bit.